Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 8th. We're just going to jump right in here, Aquarius. And in your current general energies, you have this Taming the Wind card. I kind of feel like you're just getting more focused on your direction in life. Again, maybe you feel like you've been just being blown around all over the place, or there just has been a general lack of understanding as far as like what direction your life is meant to move in. I feel like there has been a lot of confusion for you. And again, I'm cheating because like if I look at the astrology, it totally makes sense that maybe even for like the past 2 or 3 years, you've been a little bit confused on, like what you should invest your time, effort, and energy into, what direction is right. And, like we kind of talk about this every once in a while with you. And so it, just makes sense to me that this would be kind of like a focus for you, and gaining clarity would be a focus as well. I also kind of feel this energy for you, like I keep getting this message for you that things could be a lot easier. And I'm not saying that your life could be easy, but I am saying that you might be overcomplicating some things. I always get that. I'm pretty sure it's you that I always feel this for, especially with that 10 of Wands there. It's like I get this feeling of just overcomplication, and we're definitely going to come up with some solutions and see what we can do there. But you have this Taming the Wind card. So again, I kind of feel like you're taming yourself. You are an air sign. You are the wind. So it's like you are gaining some understanding, or you're kind of taming yourself here with this energy. And I feel that's going to, of course, lead to a lot of success at this time. You have the Page of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Seven of Cups. I would take like extra time to recover right now, and extra time to like sleep and all that other stuff. I'm definitely getting that on the Four of Swords, but also the Page of Swords. Page of Swords, I'm getting the word readiness on it. And so I feel for some of you, it's like, it's almost like you have to be, I'm not trying to be mysterious. I'm sure this is going to sound mysterious, but it's not. It's almost like you have to be a certain amount ready for something that is about to enter into your life. And for some of you, it could be love, but for others, I feel like I'll just tell you what it is. Again, I'm not trying to be mysterious here, but it's something that you've been working towards. I would say if you've been working towards a project, or like a dream, or part of your dream life, or something that you consider to be part of your dream life, this could be like a project, a business, writing a book, whatever it is that you're doing. And, the Knight of Cups, he kind of represents an opportunity where maybe you don't feel like you have the resources necessary to be successful, but he actually kind of says you actually do. There's water flowing in front of him, even though he's standing in the desert. So it's almost like it's almost like the universe is giving you like a score. Like I feel like the universe is saying like you have to have, this, you have to be this much prepared for this to enter into your life. And I know I'm speaking very generally here, but I feel like if you look back at your life so far, like maybe for the past 3 years or so, it's like you've been doing a lot of preparation. I think maybe you've been getting healthy, or you've been kind of learning or educating yourself, or you've been practicing your business or whatever. And literally, I know this sounds dumb, but I feel like this reading is saying you've reached that number that you had to reach to be ready for whatever it is you've been waiting for. So there you go. Congratulations. I kind of feel like your hard work is paying off, although it could be anything. You have the Seven of Cups. Again, don't start to doubt this now. Like, sometimes I think when we get very, very close to our goal, when we get very close to the thing that we want to accomplish, that's when we start to feel the most resistance. So, I feel like the Seven of Cups is saying don't allow any distractions to come in between you and what you have been, on this long journey, which we actually see right here. The moon, there's this long path down to these mountains in the background, and mountains in the tarot represent achievements. So it's like you've been on this long journey. There's been a lack of clarity. The moon can kind of say that things have not been exactly clear on like what you should do, or, if you're going in the right direction. But if we go this way, it's like there's the success right there. With the Page of Swords, you have the Three of Cups, definitely a celebration coming in for you. We see, I kind of, this could be love, but I do feel that there is just a lot of social energy going on here. You even have the Six of Wands, which there's a lot of people who are celebrating this man on the horse here. So it's almost as if there is a social element to this reading, where there could be people in your life who are like supporting you more, or you could feel more supported at this time. And I definitely get that here. With the Four of Swords, you have the King of Swords. I feel like this is you kind of in a very strong position. I feel like you're getting a lot of attention, and also, I feel like you could be being seen as like an expert. Again, King of Swords, he has a lot of knowledge and wisdom. He kind of really is very, he is very intelligent, but he knows how to use that intelligence to be successful. So I definitely feel that there for you. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Emperor here. Could be an Aries coming in for you if you are hoping for love. It could be an Aries or a Pisces. Or it could be someone who's born like on the cusp of those two signs as well, Aquarius. But, going this way, again, the Two of Cups does not have to be love. And in this reading, I do feel this reading is kind of talking about something that you've been preparing yourself for a long period of time. And I feel like that Two of Cups, I always read the Two of Cups as you and your higher self. So it's almost like you are just ready to take action on something that you've been being guided towards. Even in your next row for what you need to hear right now, you have this Empress card. So I do feel like you're very attractive at this time. I mean, if you want love, I would definitely get out there here, Aquarius. I feel like you could be attracting, a lot of attention or just love in general if you want it. I also feel like this could be, just a lot of abundance that's coming in for you. So, if you're hoping to attract more abundance or more success, it looks to me like there definitely could be more abundance and success coming in for you here with the Empress card. So, I definitely see that. You have the Knight of Cups, the Moon, and the Ace of Pentacles. Again, Knight of Cups could be a knight in shining armor. But, I always say that Knight of Cups, he's normally looking into that cup, and he is imagining his future life. Like, he is imagining maybe things that he wants to create, do, be, have, whatever, places he wants to go, pretty much everything. He's in a very dreamy space, and he's ready to take action on those things, regardless of whether or not he has the resources or not. Again, he's standing in the desert. The desert in the tarot kind of says that he doesn't have the resources necessary to do something that he wants to do, but if he plants seeds in front of that water, they will grow. So, it's time for you to plant your Empress seeds. It's time for you to have a harvest. You have the Moon. Like, again, for whatever reason, I just get the words like long journey or, it's been a long journey. Even right next to it, we have the Ten of Wands, which again would suggest that it's been, kind of a long journey. I feel like it's taken a long time to, reach certain levels of success in your life. And that's kind of what I get here for you, even, with the Ten of Wands here, even the Knight of Pentacles as well, could kind of represent some sort of long journey or having taken, a long time for you to move forward. I feel like you've learned a lot on this journey, and now it's time for you to put that into practice with the Knight of Pentacles. You also have the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is like a big opportunity that could be coming in for you. Ace of Pentacles kind of represents investment. It's a card of investing your time, because we have this garden right here, and everything in your reading is about planting seeds. And so the whole point of the Ace of Pentacles is that, it represents something that needs to be nurtured into existence. A lot of people have been getting this message recently about, nurturing something to existence. I really feel that it's probably just Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus has a lot to do with our values and things that we value. Obviously, if you value something, you're probably going to nurture it into existence. If you don't, then you won't. And, so I feel like, if you're working on something that matters to you, it's going to be very successful. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Ten of Wands. You have a lot of burdens that you've been experiencing. I feel like these burdens have made you stronger, more confident, more sure. I feel like they've actually made you more sure of yourself. And if you're saying, no, they haven't, well, I feel like they will, or you're about to get to that point where you're more confident, you're more bold, you're more assertive. With the Moon card, you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is like charging forward towards success. And I feel like you are kind of charging forward towards success. I also feel, I'll just show you over here. It's like the Knight of Swords, traditionally he would be pointing this direction towards the past. I feel this every once in a while with the Knight of Swords, where he's saying, don't go back to the past. And I'm not talking about a person here. I'm talking about you are moving very close to a goal, something that you want to achieve. And sometimes I think when we are like standing in front of the door that we just have to open to accomplish this goal, it's like we go the other direction, we run away, we get scared, or we think it's too good to be true or whatever. Again, I think it would be an amazing time for you to kind of like look at all the work you've done for the past 2 or 3 years, as I've been saying this whole time, and to say, no, I earned this. I earned the right to, go through this door. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare. It's like waking up, it's like having a nightmare, waking up, and then being stuck in a nightmare. I do feel that some of you are actually being given the opportunity to kind of release some sort of nightmare here in this direction. So if this could be in any area of your life. I feel like it's something that has been like a burden for some of you, whatever this is. I kind of feel like things are meant to get simpler for you. Things are meant to be less complicated. Again, as I always say, that doesn't mean that life isn't going to be complicated. Of course it is. That's life. But I do feel that, it's not like so complicated. It's like there aren't so many obstacles going in this direction, right? Next, you have this Dragon's Hoard card. It says protecting the future. I feel like you're protecting your future, and I feel like your future is protected and also very abundant, as we can see in this entire reading. So definitely a lot of abundance. You have the Two of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and the Six of Wands showing up here. The Ten of Wands, again, I feel just talking about this long journey that you've been on. I feel like each one of those wands, I feel like it's actually more than 10 wands. I feel like you have a lot of things that you have experienced. You have a lot of things that you've carried on your shoulders. In this reading, number one, I do feel is encouraging you to, unload some burdens. There might be some responsibilities that other people can help you with, or there might be some things that other people can do for you, and I would encourage you to do that. The other thing is that, again, I think there are just some burdens that you're releasing because now is the time. You have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands, of course, a card of success and achievements. The whole entire reading is about some sort of achievement or, something that you could be completing. You can see here there's this wreath, and it kind of looks like the World card. It's like the wreath on the World card. So it's like some of you, I feel like going this direction here, it's like you're ending something that has been, a long journey. I feel like you're going to be being seen as successful, and I feel there are a lot of people who are going to be like cheering you on from here on out. So this looks really good to me, Aquarius. Pretty simple reading. It's pretty straightforward. It's kind of like only talking about one thing, but I do like it. You have the Two of Cups as well, which again could be love, although Two of Cups to me is you and your higher self. It is a card of communication, and this right here is the Staff of Hermes. Hermes is the messenger god. He is Mercury. So for a lot of you, I feel this could be you communicating with your higher self. This might be through like dreams, daydreams. It seems to me like a lot of people could be getting messages right now through dreams, daydreams, repeating numbers, things like that. It also seems to me like this week could actually be a little bit more clear as far as like information is concerned. We do have Mercury retrograde, and again, this, I don't know about anyone else, but this Mercury retrograde has definitely been a doozy. But what I would say here is it seems normally at the end of the retrograde, that's when Mercury retrograde is the strongest, at the beginning and at the end, right? So we're getting to the end, so normally it actually gets stronger. But what I would say is that based off all the readings I've done so far, it seems to me like we could actually, it could be a time of clarity. So maybe it's actually not, I think it is stronger, but, it's like maybe we're actually kind of getting past the confusion, if that makes sense. Let's see. With the Two of Cups, you have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, you might be a little guarded in love. Again, you have this person here who could be coming in for you. I'm not so sure that you're going to be accepting love, this week. I'm not saying that you are rejecting this person either, but, you could just be a little bit guarded at this time. I don't really feel I don't have any feelings about it. So maybe you don't have any feelings about it either. Maybe you're just kind of like, I don't care. Or maybe you're just in this place where you're more focused on kind of like getting ahead this week, which would make sense based off of everything that's going on here. So, just something I would think about. Yeah, with the Ten of Wands, you have the Sun. Yeah, you're more focused on your own happiness. The interesting thing is that the Queen of Wands has this sunflower. The sunflowers, in the tarot, they point towards the sun. So she is basically using that sunflower to guide her towards her happiness. And she only does things that bring her joy and happiness, which seems to be your focus this week. So again, there could be a person coming in for you. Maybe you see this person as a burden because you have the Ten of Wands. I also kind of feel like you could be attracting a person who is like similar, has, kind of been through similar things that you've been through. So it's like maybe they've experienced similar burdens that you've experienced in life, or, maybe they've experienced similar challenges and, things like that. So some of you, it's almost like you could just be, you could just be, not really kind of wanting to work on that right now. With the Six of Wands, you have the Hangman. We actually see a lot of clarity here. Again, you have the Sun, which is card of enlightenment. You have cards of clarity, but you also have the Hangman. His head is normally glowing, and it represents enlightenment. And that's kind of the message I'm getting here, is that, you're finally moving forward. Remember what I said about the Mercury retrograde as well. It's like you finally have the clarity that is necessary for you to make progress in your life, or to move forward, or to do the things that you need to do. So, that's kind of like what I see is going on here. Next, you have this card that says Trust on it, and this is from the Threads of Fate Empyrean Oracle. Full disclosure, I have a business relationship with Threads of Fate, but they're launching 3 new decks, and I have a link to that pinned down in the description down below. So make sure to check that out. But, I kind of feel like this is saying trust that you're being led in the direction. This is coming up, by the way, in the area of messages from your future self. And, again, all you need to know, King of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. Why does the Queen of Wands represent trust? And, that's probably the question that you're going to ask me. So I'm going to ask a question before I say what I'm about to say before you ask the question, right? How's that for a tongue twister, Aquarius? The Queen of Wands represents trust because she has no salamanders on her cloak. The Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, and the King of Wands, they have, lizards or salamanders on their cloaks. And during the times of tarot, the salamanders they represented like protection from fire. Mythologically, the salamander cannot be burned by fire. And so she doesn't have any salamanders. She is just trusting that sunflower that she's holding on to is guiding her in the right direction. She's my card of kind of learning as you go, learning how to do something, as you move forward. So it's like some of you are clearly, you've been prepared for something for a long time, and now I feel like you're needing to trust everything that you've learned, and you're mostly needing to trust yourself and needing to trust that you're going on in the right direction. Again, she has this black cat here as well, and that black cat, during the times of tarot, black cats were considered unlucky. And the whole point of the black cat on the Queen of Wands is that she doesn't care what anyone thinks. She just likes her black cat. That's the only thing that matters to her. And so for a lot of you, it basically says that you might be ready, really you are. I'm going to say you are, because you are ready to move in a new direction in your life that you are very enthusiastic or excited about, but you have to get started. Nine of Pentacles, you have to start planting seeds. You are in a very abundant time. You have that Empress. She waves her scepter to grow that wheat that's in front of her. So I really feel it's time for you to start planting seeds on your journey. It's time for you to move towards your happiness, right? Which maybe some of you have been holding yourself back from for a very long period of time, because I feel like you're going to see a lot of progress. But again, I think the trick for you is to realize that you're going to have to do this. I think there will be people who enter into your life, who help you along this journey, whatever new thing it is that you're building here. Or it might be something old as well. You might be, working on your business and you're just taking it to the next level. It's going to be different for all of you. And there will be new people who show up. But one thing that I'm getting on that page with the Page of Swords and the Three of Cups right here is that the people who show up, I think they're going to be very different than what you're used to. And also I think old people might be calling you crazy with your new direction, with this black cat right here. Or there might be people in your life who just don't agree with what you're doing, but it's not their life. So, I feel like you've learned for a long time not to listen to other people. It's not that you're not listening, but just if, the way to me, if someone hasn't done something that I'm about to do, I do not take their advice. Again, it's funny to me that, I've had many businesses, and since I was 16 years old, I started my first business. And it's like the most advice I get is from people who have never had a business. It's like, why would I listen to them? They have no clue what they're talking about. It's like every single person that has ever told me that business is risky doesn't have a business. It's like, yeah, no shit, it's risky, but so is crossing the street. You could get hit by a bus tomorrow, right? So again, I don't take advice from those people. It's not that I don't appreciate it, but I just don't listen, right? It's like when someone leaves me a comment about my channel and they have no videos and no subscribers. It's like, why would I listen? So I just don't. And, that's what I feel like this is saying. You have the Three of Swords with that Page of Wands. Again, I do feel like some of you have gone through a breakup or a separation. That could be why the Ten of Wands, the Nine of Wands is coming up here. I really do feel like you're going through a healing. We have the Four of Swords here. I do think it would be a better time for you to heal, just based off this reading, and not necessarily like rush into a new relationship. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles has been coming up quite a bit. And I would just say that the Four of Pentacles, like knowing that you need to change your story. I think that everybody is being triggered by the Four of Pentacles at this moment. So, Pluto in Aquarius is basically like, are you going to keep living the same story? Are you going to live in the old, or, I said it, months ago that, we are living in two different worlds. It's like, are you going to live in the old world where everything is the same? Or are you going to live in a new world where things can be new, different, exciting? And there is no right or wrong here, by the way. So, choice is yours. With the Queen of Wands, but I would jump into the new world. I would jump into your new world where things are different. I really feel a lot of your triggers as well are coming from, it's like you could be looking at a lot of things in your life and saying, this has been, I'm speaking very generally here, right? But it's like, I think there are certain things that have been like a permanent fixture in your life, whether it's people, places, and things. And some of these things are starting to get dull. So it's like, you need to make a change. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. You have this bird flying. It says news is on the way. I feel like there's good news coming in for you here. It's more about just the fact that you have been prepared for something and you're kind of finally ready is what I feel. You have this December card and you have this wall card. It says misunderstanding. I feel like for some of you in last December, there could have been a misunderstanding or kind of like a lack of clarity. We actually kind of have a timeline showing up here because you have this December card. And then you have this February card, and it is being clarified by this angel card that says spiritual guidance, protection from harm. So for some of you, I kind of feel like this is talking about those of you that are born in February. I feel like I feel it's true for all of you, but, I think for those of you who were born in February, there maybe was an incident back in February, or December, right, where something happened, and I feel like it was like meant for your protection is what this is saying. I'm actually going to pull an extra card. You have this kite card. This says vacation. I think it's time for everyone to go on some sort of vacation. There's too much like head energy right now. I even catch myself like overthinking things right now. And so I think that pretty much everyone, it's true for the collective. Maybe you can't go on a vacation, but it's like, can you meditate for 5 minutes a day? Can you go on a staycation? Can you use some vacation time from work to just, kind of have a couple of days to yourself at home? I think that people don't realize how refreshing and, how helpful that will be right now. So I would definitely do it. You have this finger card. It says warning you of a problem either now or in the future. I'm going to clarify this and then we're going to pull an extra card. You have this teapot. It says deep friendship with someone of the same sex. It's kind of weird. I have like a weird story popping into my head here, Aquarius. This is not going to resonate with all of you, but for some of you, it's like I feel like for some of you, you have a friend or someone you thought was a friend that maybe gave you bad advice, and I don't know, I think this person was just wrong. So I would be careful of that friend. It's kind of popping into my head that maybe someone gave you advice about like a lover that was just wrong, or maybe I think you're kind of like realizing that this person is just angry or whatever. It's like I always tell people when I'm in a relationship, I do not spend time with people who are divorced or who have just gone through a breakup or anything like that. I basically cut those people out, and people are always like, how dare you do that? And I'm always like, yeah, but you know what? We are the sum total of the 5 people we spend the most time with, and that is the most cliche business advice, but also the most true business advice. But it also applies to other areas of life. It's like every time, I don't know about you, but I've seen it happen multiple times. Even when I used to do readings on this channel, people would always be like, oh, my friend told me to break up with my boyfriend and I regret it, and all this other stuff. I'm like, you shouldn't have listened. Like, why would you, basically my rule is, unless I'm willing to allow a person into my bedroom with me, with my partner, I'm not taking their advice. Again, same thing about advice here. So I'm wondering if some of you took bad advice. Doesn't have to be love, could be anything else. And, I think you're just looking at people differently. Again, all your triggers, it seems to me, are coming from that. You have this Valley card. This is the extra card. It says deep personal strength and peace that assures success. So again, I feel like there is a lot of success coming in for you here. So love it. This looks good. Thank you for being here, Aquarius, and definitely enjoy your week.